What's up, and welcome to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar, episode 106.
Let's go.
What's up, everybody? Bringing you that Monday energy on March 5th, which
On a
is
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yes, because normally we're Mondays. It's Monday energy, but it is a Tuesday. Yes.
Some of us were at a Fall Out Boy concert last night, so the schedule got a little shifted.
So for our regulars who are normally with us on Monday nights and are like, wait, what happened? Sorry for the confusion. And if anybody's joining us new, welcome. We have a live chat, which we do have a couple people in there, which quick shout out. We got Untitled says, I made it on time. And Heck goes, guess who can do that?
Yes. Untitled and Heck are my Discord humans who every week ask for reminders for when the show is on. So I surprised them today and then dropped the link almost an hour ago and was like 50 minutes. And Heck is in my channel doing math and going, wait, when's it start? So Heck can do math. Also, speaking of doing math and timing, before we get going, if you are in California or in any other states that are voting and in Pacific time zone and you haven't voted yet today, you got 20 minutes. As long as you're in line before your polling place closes, you can vote. If you haven't voted yet, get your ass out there. Do it.
I ran and dropped mine off right before the show because life. And I'm like, wait, I can make it. There's a spot down the street from me. Dropped it off and was like, all right, did it. Done.
We signed up for mail-in ballots because it is so nice to be able to have mail-in ballots and like reference things, look things up, look at the list of humans and go, okay, pros and cons, and open 35 Google tabs, Google Chrome tabs. But yeah, we always do that. And then there's a drop box that is a 2-minute drive away. So we dropped them off on our way to the concert last night.
Perfect.
It was drop off the ballots, get gas, and drive to Anaheim. So yeah, no cute, like, I voted selfie for me and I left my sticker in the other room, but you get it done. You get it done. So yes, if you're listening, if you haven't voted yet, go get in line. You got 20 minutes. There's probably a polling place within 20 minutes of you. Just like go, fight, win. It's very important. Even if you don't think it is, those local elections are extremely important. You got to make your voice heard.
A lot would say that's where it matters actually more. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It starts locally and then it goes up.
Exactly. Looking over at the chat, we also got Giga Derek says, greetings again from the void. Mostly moved in. Nice.
That sounds like a cozy void.
Well, we should also introduce ourselves as well. Hello, I'm Carrie Lane.
And I'm Katie Cullen. And we both think you should vote.
Yes. And we both ended up in like, with this lighting, it looks more pink. It's actually kind of a gray, but there's pink going on. And I like yours looks kind of pink.
Oh, mine is very much pink. It is the Overwatch Mercy, the pink skin they did a little while ago to raise money for breast cancer research. This was a few years back. Overwatch is back, baby. I am so excited.
There we go. Wait. Oh, so it says art.
Art!
And it's like a pen. Yeah. Anyways, and then my hair's pink already. So, we have fun. It's just an interesting combo. But yes, we have fun here. We are going to be talking some news, anime news. We'll be talking Solo Leveling, Delicious in Dungeon, and recommendations for other stuff you should check out. So stay tuned for all that. And it's all displayed down here on this little bar that you're like, wait, I haven't watched that episode yet. Just pay attention to this and we'll get into things. Such as things we're excited about. First up, from our friends over at Aniplex, there is going to be a double feature in Los Angeles. So if you're in the Los Angeles area, it's going to be a Rascal Does Not Dream double feature special presentation. So it's an early showing of Rascal Does Not Dream of Sister Venturing Out and Does Not Dream of Knapsack Kid. And the event is on Thursday, March 14th. So coming up soon. It's at 8 p.m. And the thing about this also really cool is it's at the Aratani Theater in Little Tokyo. So if you're an anime nerd, this is like even better of location. It's a really cool, intimate theater. And it's only $20, which is pretty cool. Good price for advanced screening and 2 movies. Not just one, you get 2. And
you go down early, you get your pre-movie dinner at Rice and Nori because the onigiri is to die for. You grab a drink at Gongcha, then you head over. This is how I do Little Tokyo. It's all food.
The screening will be Japanese audio and English subtitles, and the doors open at 7 p.m. And you can find this information over on Eventbrite. If you look up Aniplex on Eventbrite, they have an Eventbrite thing. I'm like, let me show you kind of there. So it looks like that. And also, we will post a link, boom, over on Twitter, NTATNB. Go follow us over on Twitter there. And side note to that, also here on the Fanversation channel. But we'll post links to things there. So go check that out if you're a fan of that franchise. Double feature is definitely a win. And also in Little Tokyo, it's even better.
Yes. God, it's so nice down there.
Yes, I was just there, and it's similar. I did a food crawl. Not, people can do pub crawls. My friend and I do food crawls. We're like, we're going to eat a little bit here. I'm going over here and here and here. And how much can we possibly fit in like one day of food? Best advice is always just split everything, because then you can accomplish more. Just saying.
I wish I'd known that you were doing that. I would have asked you to bring me a drink from Gongcha.
We stayed a lot later than we planned, so we were like, "Oh, we need to get back."
How late do you think I stay up?
True. It was.
I know it's out of your way.
It was a long day. We also did a K-Spa, which also, if you're in the LA area, highly recommend go to those. They're amazing. It was her birthday, so we're like, we need K-Spa in Little Tokyo. So we're like,
excellent.
Winds of Los Angeles. Yes.
Yeah. Everyone out here like regional humor.
It's all
yeah.
But if you're
that is
from LA, these are some highlights of things you can check out. But yes.
Speaking of highlights, I was going to say, speaking of a win, and then we moved on and talked about things. Speaking of highlights, we've talked about them for a bit, and they have happened. The Crunchyroll Anime Awards took place on the March 2nd in Tokyo. So, if you were awake at early o'clock or extremely late o'clock, depending on your time zone, you probably watched them live, saw the orange carpet, saw all the fun pre-show interviews, saw Megan Thee Stallion in her JoJo's Bizarre Adventure inspired dress, which was amazing. What a queen. What a queen. Again, that VOD will be available, I believe, I have the wrong press release for that, but I believe it will be available on the 16th, so keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, we have a list of the winners. I'm not going to read all of them to you because there's like 25 categories, so we're not doing that.
We're not a full awards show here.
Yeah, no, we'll give you some of the big ones, like, for example, Anime of the Year, Jujutsu Kaisen, which I believe is JJK Season 2. They have it listed as Jujutsu Kaisen, Hidden Inventory / Premature Death, which was also the winner of Best Action and Best Character Design and Best Cinematography and Best Director. And Jujutsu Kaisen it didn't sweep, but it took a lot.
Mine.
Yeah.
Mine.
Oh, yeah. And I've seen a lot of people go, yes, deserved. And I've seen a few people go, excuse you, this was the better contender. And let's be real, that's all award shows. We're all going to have our own opinions. We're all going to, yeah.
And this is based on fans voting. So
it's partially fan vote.
Yes.
It's also, I believe, a panel of judges. I believe they swapped to that 2-3 years ago. I think after Yuri on Ice won.
Next year, make sure to vote on that.
Absolutely. So that's best many things. Best animation, Demon Slayer, Swordsmith Village Arc. Best anime song, Idol by Yaosobi for Oshi no Ko, which absolutely tracks. Best art direction, Demon Slayer. Cinematography, Jujutsu Kaisen. Comedy, Spy Family. Continuing series, One Piece. Drama, Attack on Titan final season. And we continue on. Best film, Suzume. So for those of you who haven't seen it. And then we want to highlight this one for Best English Performance. Where is it? Best Voice Actor Performance in English, Ryan Colt Levy as Denji for Chainsaw Man. Like, damn, dude.
Yay!
And I mean, he kills it. He truly does. There are many, many other winners in there that I did not read out because, again, that was maybe a third of them there. So definitely go check out the results for yourself. Check out the VOD when it drops in a couple weeks. And thank you, Crunchyroll.
And a couple things on that too. Go check out on a previous episode. We've had Ryan on the show twice, and so if you want to hear more from him, check those episodes out. It's at the top of the show.
Hard to miss. We had Ryan on for episode 1, and we had Ryan on for episode 100.
Yes. So, okay. So yeah, 100. There's time codes. Don't worry. And then the other thing was, if you're a fan of Suzume, go check out our playlist here on the Fanversation channel. We covered the blue carpet and spoke with many of the cast as well as director and other really cool people. So check that out. And then I was looking over the chat, and Hex says Demon Slayer has some of the best animation from an art student. It is beautiful. Yes, agreed. Beautiful. And if you're a Demon Slayer fan, check out our Demon Slayer playlist where we talk to some of those voice actors as well.
So I'm many. You get to see me interview a man on less than 4 hours of sleep. That was it was a day. It was very fun. It was a day. Also, I've seen Hex art. I trust his opinion on this sort of thing. Like, nice. Damn, he's good. So,
all right.
Yes.
All right. And then moving on for other things that are fun and exciting. For Konosuba fans, Crunchyroll is going to stream the highly anticipated Konosuba God Blessing to the World, to this wonderful world 3. So that's be alongside 3 exciting new titles this spring. So it is A Condition Called Loved, Kurayukaba, there we go. And it's like reading words and things. Kuromeru Kagurrai. Apologies on if I'm butchering how those are. Join the adventure comedy and Crunchyroll spring lineup. All titles will be featured. And so go check those out on Crunchyroll. And I'm trying to look for a date. Just says spring 2024. So that's kind of getting there soon.
So,
and if you're a Konosuba fan.
I don't think we have this. Yeah, I think we're still in the middle of the winter season. I don't think the spring season is hit just yet. So,
but it's soon. Oh,
yeah, it's only just March.
One of them does say in April, God's Blessing. That one is, that one says April. And for more information, you can check out. Just scrolling through more information. Here we go. Yeah. Crunchyroll is also collaborating with La Mole. Apologies if that's wrong pronunciation. Provide fans an exclusive preview of the new series of screenings at the event in March. Okay, so that's an event in where'd it go? Because I did see that, and then I was like, wait, what is that? So it's in Mexico. So there's looks like a convention in Mexico. So for more information, you can go check out crunchyroll.com/news and see more on that. So I know Konosuba is definitely a fun title. And the fact that they're still making more shows fans love it. So yeah, go check it out.
Oh yeah. Konosuba is extremely popular. So yes. All right. If we want to continue on with it's technically action, but let's be real, it's an action comedy. We still got comedy roots here. Dragon Ball Super English dub has dropped on Crunchyroll as of this morning. So, dating it for the future, March 5th. Crunchyroll announced today that the English dub for Dragon Ball Super has been made available on its streaming service starting, this afternoon, today at 1 p.m. Pacific. Previously only available in Japanese with subtitles, Crunchyroll subscribers can now stream all episodes of the English dub in the United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa, with other regions to follow. So, y'all, it's that dubcast you love so much, and it's finally available streaming on Crunchyroll. So, check it out. If you're watching this video, it's available.
Yes. And another thing that's exciting connected to stuff we all love, Crunchyroll is also unveiling a documentary on solo leveling. And so this is a look inside the journey from web novel to global anime sensation. And it has premiered exclusively on Crunchyroll. So it's available now. So if you didn't know, it is. So it's The Leveling of Solo Leveling is the documentary. This is a 2-part series. It delves deep into the captivating journey of the smash hit anime series Solo Leveling. And so I think if you're a fan of the series, this sounds awesome. I would love to know more about like behind this, and not read ahead though, because we're trying to stay current and not good. But anyways, it sounds really cool. So if you're a fan of Solo Leveling, or if you haven't checked it out yet, I feel this would be a really good one that you should go check out the documentary.
Yeah.
And
again, if you're watching this, it's available.
Yes. Looking at the chat, Giga Derek says you get to hear Sean Schmel scream himself into a ghost and some excellent memes. All right.
Yep.
Where's my banners? Here we are. It's the bright lights, and I had to squint to my computer screen. No. Telling you, it's Monday energy on a Tuesday, though.
Oh,
yes. Woo. All right, getting over to the other thing we're excited about of Solo Leveling. So we're back. If you missed last week's episode, we talked about how do you feel about recap episodes or not, and like are they worth it, whatnot. Go check that out if you missed it.
Evidently, that recap episode has the lowest rating of any episode of anything on Crunchyroll. Saw that news article. So people were mad.
Yes.
And again, like, not Crunchyroll's fault, you guys.
Yeah.
It's my theory is still that the studio needed time for something.
So I almost feel like you need to be more obvious, and like the title should be like recap episode 7.5. You know, by now some of us know a 0.5 means it's a recap, but it wouldn't hurt to be more obvious of, by the way.
Anyway.
Okay.
I think they have to air them as they're labeled. You know?
True. I mean, they don't have a choice. So that's more just going up the top of like, hey, clearly people were had feelings.
My take on it is just, come on, y'all. Vibe. Just vibe.
Just calm down. That's you.
Yeah. Just.
But speaking of vibing, we have our hero joining up with the.
I actually wanted to start with something completely different because I'm afraid I'll forget it. There is a blink and you miss it scene in the middle of this episode with the purple lighting with some guy just going, please, they all have to die. Who is that? Mm-hmm. Why? Who has to die? Like, this feels like it was 2 panels that were animated like right the heck out of nowhere, and we just go back into the episode. It's like, what?
What? Yeah.
What? I don't think we've seen this human before. We have no context. It looks like there's someone sitting behind them, like out on a balcony somewhere. I have no idea what any of this means, but I did want to bring it up because I knew I'd forget it otherwise. Because it's just this real quick, you barely have 2 seconds to go, who, before they're moving on. And just like, what? What is this?
They're just, sprinkling information and things and going, we'll come back to it. Maybe not.
I'm sure this will come up hopefully within the next couple of episodes. Otherwise, it's going to be just
like, what?
Big-lipped alligator moment. Like, cool. What? Cool.
Yes. I also, speaking of new characters too, the thumbnail on this, I used one of the new handler guy, and who, if you watch JJK, he kind of looks like Megumi with character design a little bit, with the hair and different, not the same, but one of those adjacently similar.
Yeah.
No, I do not want to go.
One fear.
Do not want to go and participate with these criminals who are getting their sentence lower, and I don't trust any of them with our previous experience with people that even weren't arrested yet. So I
want to just tear this whole setup apart for a minute because it's a bunch of disparate people being called back in.
Maybe. Rab says, is this the audience of this story? Like that person? Is that what you mean with the person? Because that's what I thought. This person saying they gotta die. So
no, I don't know.
Can you explain more? What do you mean?
They seem diegetic to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
I don't know. For those diegetic, like taking place within the story. They mean.
Yeah. Interesting. Huh. But you know what? We throw out all kinds of theories about this show so far. So
Who knows, man?
Yeah.
Who knows? There. I'm hoping we'll get an explanation because, lol, what? Also, yeah, getting into this. Pretty sure everyone's heard this already, but just again, up top, we have not read the manhwa or the web novel or anything. For Dungeon Meshi, we haven't read the manga. We are unspoiled. We would prefer to keep it that way in the live chat and in the comments. Please and thank you. Everyone's been really good about that so far. Very much appreciated. This is like nightmare blunt rotation territory. this particular setup, because it's a very unhappy reunion of the initial, boy, a whole bunch of people died here dungeon, except for the one random unnamed woman who is just not coming back for some reason. Can't blame her. Wouldn't want to be here either. And then randomly 3 convicts who are almost all ranked higher than everyone else here. Like, it's a D-level dungeon. They're calling D and E level people, with the exception of, I think her name's Juhi, our healer, whom we love, who got negged to hell and back by her mother.
Oh, yeah.
Presumably her mother.
Good for her for hanging up.
Oh, my God. Talk about nightmare conversations. We'll get back to that in a minute.
But yeah, I was super suspicious of why are they all together? Like, who organized
that?
This? And
this, I would be willing to call crazy random happenstance, because we did get the bit from Mr. Song about yeah, a lot of times we're called for essentially the equivalent of doing errands, and they did make a point of saying we're short-staffed. We had an exodus of local hunters. So if these are the only people who stuck around and are still available, then these are the people that would be called. And it's also like, who's available at, 4 p.m. on a Tuesday? Whenever this is, because it's not just, hey, we need you at some point in the future. It's, hey, can you be here in an hour?
Yeah, no, I think it's sketchy. I don't trust it. Kikaderic goes, we've got our Nightmare Dungeon reunion, we've got a Suicide Squad, and we got a handler who I definitely don't trust. Fair.
It is a Suicide Squad
program. People are gonna die.
So this I have 2 separate sets of thoughts on this. I have predictions for how this is going to go, because I have pattern recognition and an English degree. Sometimes you just look at a story and go, crack it open for the component parts. It's enrichment for my enclosure. But also, just, we have this random ass gang of prisoners, and we immediately have 2 of the 3 of them just be monsters straight off the bat. And it just, I can't really define why it rubbed me the wrong way, and maybe it's becoming more aware in real life of, like, a lot of people are in prison because of circumstances beyond their control, because of a minor crime they were unfairly convicted for, because their circumstances made them more likely to be arrested. Then it's a race thing, it's a class thing, it's a social inequality thing. Like, and I understand that my understanding of this has a very American bent, and that there is a very different culture around policing and prison, et cetera, in Japan. But the second we have 3 prisoner characters and 2 of them are immediately just monsters, it's like, okay, we've set up these extremely flat people to be knocked down. They are meant to be nothing but a problem. Like, all right. I think it's just one of those, all right, we got a couple cardboard cutouts we got to deal with. We did have one of them who has said absolutely nothing. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering about, because they are they're either bald or they have very short hair, because they don't have an exaggerated character design the way the other 2 do. Yeah. And they haven't said anything. So, like, who are you? What is your deal? Are you actually dangerous in a way that's not the Joker? Like, anyway.
Interesting theory. Rab says dungeon reward may be cursed and they want it cleared, but no one should be allowed to carry it off of the island. So
we're not talking about the island yet.
Not yet.
I have thoughts on the island, and I went back and did some research. So, yes.
Here is your soapbox.
Rab, you're a little bit ahead of the game. Because the other thing I'm looking at for, again, this nightmare blunt rotation of a dungeon, and that is what I will be calling it. God damn it.
Sure. I got you.
There is no, and especially given that the title of our next episode is You've Been Hiding Your Powers, or You've Been Hiding Your, something like that. There's no way we're keeping this a secret. There just isn't for starters, we had Juhi, you should sit this one out. But because our main character chose to go in, she's still on he's an E level. He almost dies in situations where everyone else is fine. Yeah. She's still, because he hasn't told anyone anything. Mm-hmm. She's still very much under the assumption of, if he goes in, I need to go in to make sure he doesn't die.
Yep.
Especially since their last dungeon together. Well, so we have her going in because he's going in. We have him going in for, well, it's his job, but also purely selfish purposes. We have all of these people who were fully aware of the state that they left him in and the altar they left him on.
Yep.
And then we have the fucking Suicide Squad and their handler who is with the government. Like, I am fully expecting the handler to either have his hands full in some way or the criminals are too much to handle for some reason. And Sung has to pull out the big moves in order to be able to keep other people, namely Juhi, from getting wrecked. Like, this is a nightmare waiting to happen. He either just mask off completely or he lets people die. Like, just the way this is set up dramatically, and because we have such cardboard cutouts for the prisoners, like, there's no way that doesn't happen. There's no way this does not go immediately to hell.
I swear, if that handler turns into Jared Leto,
cut him from the movie.
Okay, this is, I kind of wondering, Rabbit says, well, so the main character is being fed lab rats to reclass him, maybe. So that's it. I'll go with that in the sense of, are the people who thinking this is far more organized than happenstance that they've all come together. That if the people higher up are suspicious of our hero, if they are bringing in other people that they feel if something happened to them, we don't really care. But to see what he'll do, like, they're watching. I don't know, but it is a possibility that they want to, the higher ups that we're talking about, hey, this guy he's involved with more than we think. So
that's possible. I don't think they do it in the setting of a dungeon.
True.
Because, I wouldn't put it past the government, but here's the thing. The other half of this episode is talking about the cold open, talking about the island where there was a dungeon break and they all failed, talking about how dungeon breaks are a clear and present danger, and it is entirely possible for them to happen in a very, we saw a dungeon break in a populated area and how much destruction that was causing. And the fact that the island, and this is where I start going into island stuff. I sound like a Lost fan. The island was this.
Proceed.
So we have these lovely flashbacks with our lovely S-tier hunters talking about, I love the information run around. Oh, there's this. I know. Oh, there's this. I know. And I know. So cut the shit.
He's like, what the fuck do you want? Yeah.
Which I really appreciate. I love the mastermind characters. And then the guy just like, I know. I know. Come on.
I like that he almost did the anime glasses, like, shoo, like that.
Oh, yeah. No,
they were almost there, but I liked it.
Talking about I don't remember the name of the island, talking about the island, talking about the events of the cold open and how they failed. And it continues to be on Glass's mind because, yes, that's my failure. Yes, that's, everyone says I'm the last ditch weapon against humanity. And I'm like, dude, what are you capable of? We never got to see it. But the island is weighing on his mind and he wants to clear it out because it's dangerous. Like, it's sealed off. They go check on it once a year, but it's whatever dungeon break happened there is really, really bad. And even then we saw some of our S-tier people, having fun playing with the monsters. But at what point does that get to be too much? Because we also saw some of our D-tier and C-tier hunters being completely useless against these ants, just getting run roughshod over. And the other thing that we put together here, because after seeing our little flashback, I went back and I rewatched the cold open and took note of names and then went back again and watched the flashback. It's like, hang on. Because I thought that our guy that we have in the present and the one that we saw in the flashback were the same person, but they're different names. I'm so bad with names in this show. The brain refuses.
It's all right.
Anything. I'm very bad. I need to just make a list like I do with other shows, just like it's here. But we have that flashback of him watching someone else get surrounded by the ants carrying another human, and he says both their names. We also have that bit of information where the S-tier healer who was there retired. So my theory, which I think is supported by the text, is that he got the healer out, and the other two people he could not get out. Whether or not they're dead, I don't know. If they're still surviving on a monster overrun island, that would be amazing. I would love to watch that show as well.
Go watch Monarch.
I don't think that's the case.
Right.
But, it'd be crazy if it were. I'd love that. I don't think that's the case because this has also shown that it's a show that's really not afraid to just tear people limb from limb.
Oh, yeah.
And that also makes sense that the healer retired because, hey, these were his buddies. This was his party. They ran together. He could not save them, and they had to be left behind on this island that was then sealed off because it was such a colossal failure. Because whatever happened there, whatever monsters were there, were too strong for a bunch of S-rank hunters to handle. Whatever's happening over there, it's bad. Starship Troopers, but local. Exactly. Thank you. Yes, exactly.
Oh, Starship resurrected him and everyone else did die. That too could be an option.
I mean, maybe. He did say someone else's name, it was someone else. We have similar character designs, but it's very much we lost two people there.
Yeah.
So that's if I am absolutely factually wrong, please let me know. If that's just no, they are the same person. You misunderstood. Absolutely let me know that.
First name and last name?
It doesn't, because they were yelling each other's names in the face. It does. I don't think that's the case, which is why I went back and watched the cold open, just to be sure. But yeah, if it is similar character designs and I just got thrown by it, then that's fine. Yeah. Or it's it's the same person, you just got thrown. Or no, they're similar character designs, but they're two different people. I don't know. And I don't think I can go looking for answers without getting spoiled. So
I know that I hate that when I'm trying to go check names too. It's wait, no, I don't want to.
Yeah, that's where the fun comes in. So the fact that we got that dramatic swell of music with the I'm gonna go clear out that island sometime soon. And we also have our one human who is able to level up and possibly become stronger than an S-rank hunter. Wow. Yeah, I don't think the island is going to be... We have 12 episodes. This is episode 8. I don't think the island is going to be on the docket before the end of the season. I'm thinking season 2, maybe season 3, depending. But I do think it's going to be he gets found out, the government gets involved, we start testing things, we get recruited, all that fun stuff. And then he, in turn, would be able to leverage, I need people with... If he chooses to. God knows he makes the dumbest decisions. But he would be able to leverage, I need people with me to come take out this dungeon to get the rewards. Because he still needs that elixir of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
And still needs to level up. I think we're getting a little more predictions.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yes. I like the idea that if and when he's getting discovered, it's the team that left him. Because they're the only people that could have legit solidarity with him and be well, we don't feel as shitty now. We still feel shitty, but not as bad. And they wouldn't necessarily try to use him the same way because of their position of how he got those abilities. So I feel if anybody finding out, these people would probably be the best. And I wonder if he'll form a team with them again and they could keep that secret. But for how long?
You are reading much nicer motivations into them than I am. Because, for one, we have the handler who works for the government. There.
Don't trust him much.
Witnessing things. The other thing is, This is very much, we left you in the middle of a crazy dungeon at an altar, specifically an altar. All of us left. You survived, came back. You are physically changed. You are much more powerful. It's real big. This could be us, but you playing. Except this could be us, but you betrayed me. So
But they do have some like shame and.
Oh no, here's the thing. I'm looking at basic human jealousy. Not for Mr. Song, not for Juhi, but for Kim.
The other two.
Was the last one to give up and use the excuse of, I want to get back to my family. Like, we all have families. Bro. Like, if you had not given up, or Kang, who I guess has a name now, and our unnamed sixth woman who did Sir not appearing in this episode. Yeah, survivor's guilt. But again, once they see the difference and it's like, yes, this was what was given to me for playing the game and surviving to the end. At what point does it turn into, well, I want that. Well, why don't I have that? It's like, because you wussed out, you dipshit. But you're ascribing good motivations to the entire party. I can't extend that to, like, we don't know anything about Kang. He's a nothing burger of a character right now. I can't ascribe that to Kim. I get that we got the nice little humanizing moment with his family and his wife being worried about him doing dungeon work because it's dangerous and like, sorry, I'm only worried for your life. But he's too selfish of a character for me. We saw how he breaks under stress, which way he breaks under stress.
And then would our hero have to kill him because the system does not like to be attacked?
I don't know. It really depends on what he does. I don't think he's dumb enough to directly pick a fight because he can see when he is outmatched. But that doesn't mean he can't go to the government, go to other people, fuck things up for him. Like, again, we've seen how he breaks. And he breaks on the selfish side when he does. So, what happens?
Derek has a good question. Speaking of government, too, does this world have a military? You'd think that island would have been reduced to cinders by now.
Rewatching the cold open, the Navy was stationed outside the island, and they had a whole conversation about our weapons are useless against them.
Yes.
And then the cold open once again went into, we have monsters now. Conventional weaponry does literally nothing. If you bomb the island until it's subterranean, ants float. Like, guys, ants float. Some types of ants have been known to, like, when things flood, they will all clump together in a ball and float together until they get to dry ground. At least if you keep them on the island, they are contained. They're not going to go swimming naturally. But if you give them no choice.
Yeah.
So, it would only blow up the land. It wouldn't hurt the monsters. And then the monsters would be scattered to wherever. And it's bad, actually. It's bad. So I get it. It's a good point. The rules of the world say no.
Is there anything else that stood out? I feel that's the main. We had one of our S rank hunters try to get poached.
Yes.
But nothing there. But it was kind of interesting still to see. We had our golden retriever, sweet assistant boy, have his conversation with his dad.
Everything about this construction company is just, it's striking me as like political subplot. And the point where it becomes plot is the point where we have explosions of some sort.
Okay.
Because that's when, like, we're trying to poach an S-ranked hunter to be the guild master. If Sung gets outed as this S rank higher than S rank can become stronger, etc., and he's already got an in with the company, at what point do they go, oh, never mind, we want that one? He's already with the company. We're promoting him to guildmaster now. Yeah. And he is entirely unique in his skill set. How soon does it turn around to, politics. Politics.
Which they did mention that a little bit too. We got more of our world building in terms of the guilds have so much power and control over everything. So it makes sense that this company wanting power and control. All right, fine. We'll make our own guild.
Yeah. And that it's a construction company, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, it's like power company. No, construction company.
Which, working on infrastructure, when you have city destroyed, feels like a good win-win for you.
Yeah, but if materials are crazy, like if the
True, we
material
don't know
cost is through the
resources.
roof. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah, it's one of those
yes.
political subplots that I'm waiting to become
Only
plot.
5. Yes.
Yes.
Then
So yeah, this absolutely buck wild show. They have built a nice little multi-layered powder keg, and we're just sitting here going, who's throwing the match? There are so many people who could throw that first match. Who's doing it first?
No, Laura says, my boy just wants to be the one. That's all he wants. Yeah.
He just wants to save his mom. Which, did she have scars on the side of her neck?
Wait, is this our hero guy or the son of the construction guy? Because
yeah, which one is your boy? Which one is your boy? Please specify. There are multiple boys here.
Also, wait,
most of them are good boys.
from your Discord as well?
No.
Hello, new name, or at least I'm sorry if you haven't been here much. Your name looks new on here, so hello.
Or if you are from my Discord, tell me who you are, because I don't recognize. Yeah.
I thought we're per conversation. I was thinking that was flowing with the son of the construction company, but because he's the one who's like wanting to do it and be the best is my guess.
Yes.
Apologies if that's not where you were going. But if you say it quickly before we move on.
Yeah. But our main character in Comatose Mom, like just one of the shots, she looked like she had scarring on her neck, like it was claw marks or something. Which is wild because I don't think we've seen that before.
Not that I recall, and it seemed like whatever this sickness is not like a thing cause it. It seemed like other people had it randomly as well.
Yeah, it's a wasting disease. It's coma disease. It's dramatic coma disease. But it did look like
so Song Jinwoo.
Yeah, so our main guy.
Yes.
Yeah. So it looked like she had scarring on her neck. And I did go back and paused it and looked again and went, this doesn't look like shadows. The way they're doing the edges of it, like it doesn't look like shadows falling. It looks like it's scarring.
Yeah.
So I could be wrong. It could be shadows, and I'm just reading too much into it. Yes. I have no idea. There's a whole lot of I have no idea in this particular discussion.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for following up back up there in the chat. And I think that's it for our solo leveling. If there's other moments or things that stood out to you in this episode, leave a comment below.
There's so much in this episode. Man.
Yes.
Speaking of so much in this episode, we've had our shot. Now here's the chaser.
Yes. Speaking of so much going on, this was also a really excellent episode and some shocking visuals. Oh my goodness, that headshot was like, what?
Yeah. That was so occasionally you sit back and go, oh right, Studio Trigger.
Yeah.
And we've had not necessarily shocking violence on this one, but we have had instances of, they don't shy away when someone gets mangled.
That was pretty shocking, I think. Like, seeing a headshot from the back was
a
lot. And we've seen other moments that are, brutal and everything, but somehow this was a bit like, yikes.
Well, it was also straight up like, okay, be my meat shield, and got them killed.
Oh, yeah, that was like, and you have your moment where we forget, oh, yes, we can bring them back. Oh, he's a healer. Doesn't mean it didn't hurt.
Yeah. And just the knowledge that someone would do that to you. And like, yes, you have to protect your healer. You have to keep them up because they're the one that keeps everyone else up. That's part of why it's such an issue that Fallon is down. Like, you're running in the dungeon without a healer.
Party of 5.
Jeez.
And how snooty they were about not wanting food. My goodness.
Okay, but can we talk about the racism? Can we just talk about our head guy being extremely elf racist?
Yes.
Because, man, just what you'd expect of an elf. Oh, elf writing, it's so ugly and hard to read.
Don't want to help.
Wow, bro.
Yes. Also, I did think it was a little weird. The twins never talked, and they're like the darkest characters we've seen. And I just thought it was really weird that, like, I didn't catch that they ever spoke.
very little. Not enough to have character.
Yeah.
And again,
and that
this
was
one's
a little
Kiki, this one's Kaka, don't ask me which one is which. It's like, guys.
I felt on a meta-ness that was a bit like, ooh, because they look so cool. I was like, oh, these characters look great. And it's like we get nothing from them.
From a writing perspective, I can understand when you just need bodies there to like fill out a party. Like, okay, it wouldn't just be our barbarian, our wizard, our cleric traveling together. We also need other melee types because otherwise that's a party that gets wiped immediately.
Yeah.
And we also had our main gnome, whose name, I don't know if we got his first name. We got everyone else's first name, but not his.
Yeah.
The twins are his grandchildren. So like there's an actual investment in their well-being.
Well,
I caught it on the second time around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I caught it on the second time around. So actual investment in their well-being, family party, and then this person they hired. So
yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't get a first name.
Yeah. It just, what an awkward party composition.
Yes.
And I used to work for a very small company that was husband, wife, daughter my age, and me. And let me tell you, when the family drama came into the company, it got weird. And that's what this is kind of hitting for me. Like, this is a family group, and then they've hired a barbarian because they need muscle. And it's very much they're just the hired help. They're just, you are here to do the thing, and that's it. Everything, and just everything being purely transactionary. Like, if you show charity in a dungeon, you'll be bled dry. Like, I get that. And we see what happens with overusing mana and when you run out. And I get that you don't want that to happen, and you have to keep your own people up. But also, like, damn, the marked lack of compassion and also their racism. Just, yeah. What an interesting character.
Yes. And then we do have, it's like, I have the names. There we go. I do appreciate how Lioso was like, can you heal her first? And not me. Like, let's wait.
Yeah.
Okay, weird. Not tangent, but random thing. So I noticed on the rating warning, it said nudity. Where was there nudity in this episode?
Isn't that the one that we get normally, though? Isn't that just kind of on the series?
It generally, I thought, changes episode to episode. And
also, that one scene in the opening where it's nude Fallen just curled in on herself.
I guess. But it felt weird, like, where?
Yeah.
What are we talking about? It just was kind of a funny thing, because then it was amusing that it was like nudity and tentacles. And I'm like, so where are we going with this? I didn't think it was going to be that kind of a show. So I was like, okay.
And instead we have the underground version of the flying spaghetti monster with boy-like tentacles. Like, okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
That causes swelling and irritation and like
paralysis.
Yeah, no big.
And I do love that, like, for the twins, it's I'm not, Kiki is a name, Kaka is slang for poop.
Like, yeah, it does not work in English. Well, side note, in Taiko, there's a sound when you hit the drum, and the sound is ka, and so when you're like learning it, it's like ka, ka. And every English as English as first language, we all went. And our teacher who's Japanese is like, why is it funny? And we're like, oh.
This is why.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's like, yes, fair, I get it. Oh boy.
Yes.
Oh boy. Yeah. But I do love that, like, we see the injuries on them, and it's, these dramatic red marks, and we see them on Laios, and it's 110% played for comedy.
Yes.
And the fact that it's the same injuries but executed differently. I love that this show can do that. I love that it can swing from, this headshot is actually extremely brutal and fucked up, to like, well, this person was going to die because they got pulled into the vines. But when Laios got pulled into the vines, it's funny. Like, okay. I love it, though.
And the really reveal of it, like, wait, what's wrong with your face? And Cameron's like, not yet. Here you go. Which I was waiting for. I'm like, oh, what's it look like?
Yes. No, I love it.
This was funny. Also, it made me think like it's a weird plantain banana, the way they prepared it and everything too, which I was like, oh, that looks pretty good. And it tastes different if you different parts.
Supposedly. Like, all I taste is vinegar. That's fair.
Yeah.
It's just like, why'd you bring it with you? Well, my hand is paralyzed, so it came with me.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Senshi.
I liked, speaking of character development though, too, which we have the Mr. Tansu is consistently not, but Namari, our barbarian, who was a bit on the judgy side at first of the group, but in kind of a constructive, loving, but definitely very tough, lovey way. But then when she connects with Senshi about how the pot is used and, oh, wait, there's maybe other ways, I really appreciated that kind of character growth because that felt very real world of, if we were taught you do something one way and then that's what you're used to and someone does it different, you're like, what the heck are you doing? And then you see, oh, okay, I never would have thought of that. That's cool. So I like that bonding with them.
Well, also, she's with her new party and she just ran into her ex. So, like, and I did love Chilchucks. We got a little more world building here as well. Like, we got the monsters, we got this is a thing of spirits, whatever. I did love Chilchuck talking about the adventurer circles and like, no, it's really tight knit. The rumor mill grinds extremely quickly. Mm-hmm. If she does this, she'll get this reputation and then it'll just be a problem for her. Yeah. And also that Chilchuck was paid in advance and that's why he's not bailing. Like, oh, that explains a number of things. We have 2 people in this party who are specifically in it for like friendship and love. Senshi's in it for the lulz, for culinary adventures.
Yes.
And Chilchuck's here because he got paid. Which I do appreciate that. I honestly do. It's a job.
Yeah.
It's a job like any other.
And that's also why he didn't necessarily want to get close on some personal information, but that doesn't mean you can't become friends of like some kind of level. So,
and it seemed like they'd been traveling together, like that particular party, for a while, and that their other missing member was ready to propose to Fallen, and is out there somewhere. I don't know if he went back into the dungeon on his own. I don't know if he thinks that she made it out and is searching for her topside. Like, I don't know what you're up to, buddy. But you're in the opening, so you're going to show up eventually. You do you. But yeah, I do appreciate that world building. I do appreciate the guild system. Like, I like all of that. I like the nitty gritty stuff. It's fun to see.
I like the replenishing of mana with the special water, the spirit water.
Yes. It's just her like it all slurping off the floor. Like, I love her. She's trying so hard.
Yeah, she's resourceful. Yeah, won't let anything stop her. So she's like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah. And then sharing a meal with this other party, no strings attached, no nothing. Just we have food. Come eat with us.
Yep.
And getting an outsider's perspective on, oh God, they're eating monsters. Oh God, I guess this is my punishment. Oh, this is good. Oh. Is it because the pot's amazing? Well, anything tastes good when the pot is amazing.
Partially. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a really good cast iron skillet. It affects
I was going for the other meaning of pot.
Yes.
Making a terrible joke. Anyway. So
this be true.
I would love to see Namari come back and rejoin the party. I loved her, and it is great to have a weapons expert around.
Yes.
Especially with like recognizing metals, recognizing weapons, never using a crossbow before, but still being able to do it. Like that's not easy to do. But she's able, and I adore her. And also getting that.
She'll be back.
I hope so. Oh, she was fun. And just that little bit of Senshi backstory where the thing that dwarves are known for, he cannot do. So, because stereotypically.
We also saw his helmet too, which was fun.
Yeah.
That nice slicked hair.
Yeah. But yeah, stereotypically dwarves known for mining, smelting, forge, etc. So the fact that Senshi is just like, I literally cannot do that, and I got grief for it. It's like, oh, you're definitely a part of this party of weirdos and misfits. We love you.
Mm-hmm. He fits in so well.
You found your people. All y'all fucking weirdos.
Yeah. I'm just checking anything else on my notes of no.
So but it's just a really wild
it's a good episode.
It was fun. It was also like, dang, this is a lot. Not in a bad way, just a lot.
It was a nice change of pace because we've had a little more slice of lifey, not a ton of like deep substance. So this was like, oh, this was you want seconds and thirds. Here's more. We're like, yes, give us more. Yeah.
Yeah. Stakes and a story that goes from one episode to another.
Yes. All right. If you have other thoughts on what happened in the episode of Delicious in Dungeon, leave your comments down below. And so now we're going to talk about the stuff you should check out. So these are other things we've been watching, reading, or whatever, checking out that we think you should also check out. I was like, yes. That's, a couple things have been out, but I'm finally getting around to, which nothing wrong with those. It's nice. The cornucopia of so much to watch, and it's like, well, which do you want to watch now? Halo season 2 is back, or Halo season 2 is here. So I was like, Halo is back. I haven't played the game. I don't really know anything about the franchise besides seeing some of the animated films that came out. But as an action sci-fi show, it's pretty darn cool. And it's entertaining. So that's over on Paramount. Yes. So if you want like action sci-fi, military violence and stuff too, because it's got like they're in the middle of major fighting stuff now, so it's pretty intense. But it's just cool sci-fi, and so liking that, and the fact that it's continuing because it kind of ended where you're like, so what, do we get more? Started up on Sweet Home, which is a Korean horror show, and that one's really cool, and monsters and things. Just barely getting into it, so I can't say yet, but that one's a whole. If you want a show, there's a whole season 1 available, and season 2's out. And finally started Abbott Elementary, which is delightful and wonderful. I haven't quite had like laugh out loud funny yet, but it's been very like put a smile on your face and funny. And I've never been a teacher, but it's still relatable. Like we all went to school, that you know that world, versus like I haven't worked in an office, so I haven't watched The Office. Not that you need to, but different kind of relating to a situation. So it's just fun, and like if you want something light and playful and some heart and a bit of heart too, that one's a fun one. Right. But yeah, that's it for me of catching up on things of like, well, what do I watch next? And it's like, oh, good, these other ones are back, and oh wait, that one's been sitting in there. I like to balance out my watching spectrum.
Yeah,
I'm like really light and heavy and. But yeah, that's about it. Let us know things you're watching, reading, and games, whatever. Leave a comment. And then, Katie, what about you?
I was going to say, don't I get to go?
Yes, of course. I just was like, wait.
I was
like, on your market, take go.
Still watching Next Level Chef. Still love it. And is, I think, my favorite Gordon Ramsay cooking show. And for those like, oh, Gordon Ramsay show, there's not a lot of yelling. And the competition is fun because he is also competing against other chefs who are coaching these chefs. It's great. Fun. It's very fun. I love Next Level Chef. It's a very good time. Yes. I had all my things stacked up and now I'm losing my mind. Shangri-La Frontier is also continuing and continues to be just absolutely wonderful. Some of the best character writing I've seen in a while. So if you have not watched Shangri-La Frontier, there is a recap episode at episode 17.5 if you just want to throw in right before a 5-part boss fight, if that's your speed. Or you can start from the beginning and get all the good bits, which I recommend because that anime is amazing. On Crunchyroll, good time. Watch the sub. Yes! Join me.
Untitled said, I started watching Next Level Chef this week. Really enjoying it so far.
Join me. It's fun. Yeah, if you're going to watch Shangri-La Frontier, you kind of need to watch the subbed version. Okay. Because it's one of those takes place in a video game, they actually like pull up menus and you see text on screen. The subbed version has subtitles for everything that's on there. The dubbed version does not. So, like, the best summary of this that had me on the floor laughing, I keep hitting my mic, stop that, is that when our main character starts the game, there's like a Star Wars style title scroll that gives you a little bit of an intro, a little bit of history, and he just skips it. So at the end of every episode, they have like little omake, they have little theater bits, they have sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's backstory, sometimes it's whatever. For episode 1, they're like, hey, do you want to see that title scroll, that title crawl that he scrolled past? Like, here it is. And in the sub, they subtitle it all. And in the dub, it's just this wall of kanji, and you're sitting there watching it with the dramatic music playing like, this isn't helpful. I still don't know what it's saying. Like, just... This is where I go back to the Crunchyroll UI and the inability to put English subtitles when you're watching something in English, like nightmare mode. So the dub is excellent for Shangri-La Frontier, but just for quality of life, you kind of need to watch the sub. So highly recommend that. We finished Alan Wake, so now we're playing Control, which is a horror game, but it's also a first-person shooter, kind of. So it's been an interesting experience because neither of us are good at those. And by neither of us are good at those, I mean my wonderful roommate is playing and I'm backseat gaming. So she puts up with so much. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, that we are not very far in. We've hit the first boss fight. We don't have a lot of time. But Control has been very good so far. Even just all the little like letters and whatnot that you can pick up and read that are artfully redacted. Like, I love it. The lore here is fantastic. Gameplay is very solid. Just if you're not a shooter, you might have to like turn the difficulty down. We are not streaming it. This is just something we're doing for funsies. We don't actually have a streaming setup for console games, which is why you'll ever see me streaming things that are on Steam and on my PC. The other thing is we went to a Fall Out Boy concert last night, which was frankly amazing. All of the footage that I have will be up on my Instagram probably tonight, possibly tomorrow. I was running out of battery while we were there and I didn't want to deal with it.
Oh no, that's the worst feeling.
Oh my God. I walked out of the concert with 10% battery and was just like, met up with a friend afterwards. She met up with her beforehand. She came fully decked out, makeup and everything, and had a little vial of glitter because it's the So Much for Stardust tour. And she's like, Stardust? And I went, yes, leave it to her. She's amazing. So what I'm getting at with this is live music. Like, it doesn't have to be a huge band. It doesn't have to be the $500 tickets, which is not what we did. We were in the nosebleeds, which were expensive, but not that expensive. More power to everyone who can and does do that, but that is not me.
Yeah.
But even in your area, there's going to be a local theater that is staging a play or a musical. There's going to be a symphony concert. There's going to be local artists. There's going to be, we're starting to get into the seasons where you can get like Shakespeare in the Park. So there is something about live performance. Like, you can't replicate it even with a streamed live performance or VOD of a live performance. There is something about actually being there and feeling the energy of that audience. And the fact that competitive Overwatch is back and the Korean games have a live audience and are in a stadium and the US games definitely aren't. Like, I am watching these Korean games, hearing the audience go nuts and really feeling that, God, I miss that. I miss the Blizzard Arena. I miss being with other fans, watching something live. And I got that again at the concert last night. There's nothing quite like the band cutting out and going, you take it from here, and hearing hundreds and hundreds of people who all know the words singing in unison. So my point is live performances. There's got to be something near you. There is probably something low cost near you. It may not be the best thing you've ever seen. I've seen some clunkers. It's been fun, but it's worth doing. If you're not super comfortable with crowds, highly recommend wearing a mask. You can get N95s and KN95s for slightly less expensive depending on where you go, but they are readily available. Just do yourself the favor of live performance. It is so good.
And on a much smaller scale of that, lots of restaurants and bars have people come live. So you can just time your outings if you're going out to see that. And those are often, you can get a lot closer and enjoy it. Giga Derek in the chat said, hoping to see Yellow Card this summer.
Oh, hell yeah. There is a pub 10 minutes from me, very close, that has some event almost every night. They have karaoke, they have comedy groups come in and perform. They call it Shakespeare on the Rocks, where it's Shakespeare, but the parts are randomized so no one knows who they're going to play in the play. And I'm trying to remember if everyone starts with a shot of whiskey beforehand. I might be thinking of something else, but that's a blast. They do D&D themed events on occasion. You're absolutely right about restaurants. There's always something. And then on the live concert space note, bring earplugs. That is the only way I made it through the concert last night. Fall Out Boy likes to do pyrotechnics in an enclosed space. It got really loud. So if you are going to go see a band, highly recommend. I got mine from the grocery store. They worked great. I shared some out with the people around me because we had a little bag of them, like earplugs. Earplugs if you're going to go see a band. Do yourself that favor. It does feel a little bit like you're listening to it through a wall. The enunciation isn't great, but it's worth it not to be completely just blasted out by the time the concert's done. Mm-hmm. So that's your PSA for the night. Wear earplugs to loud concerts. I know that it's not cool, but man.
That's one you don't get back the same way. No. So no, don't lose it. But
yeah.
Well, and one thing is, we will be back next week, and we can keep recommending plenty of things to you. But yes, thank you for tuning in to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar. Sometimes we go off on a different day, but generally Monday nights, 7:30, right here on the Fanversation channel. Make sure you are subscribed. Give the video a thumbs up. Katie, where can people find you online?
You can follow me all over the social medias, as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. I am also on a YouTube channel called Silver Screams. That is with my roommate, and that is our horror channel in which we do fun, spoopy things. And yeah, if you want to see the Fall Out Boy footage when I get it up, it's going to be on my Instagram under that same name.
Sweet. And you all can find me online at Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE across all social media platforms. Also here on the YouTube channel, in case you missed it, we have an interview with Solo Leveling, English director and lead voice actor, as well as we have cool interviews I got with Paul Giamatti and Jeffrey Wright at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival. So those are here on Fanversation. So be sure to check them out. And looking over the chat, thank you everybody for tuning in live. And no worries if you watch this later, or if you're a different day and you weren't ready for it. Comment down below on the stuff we talked about and reach out to us online. And one more time, putting it back up. There it is, NTATMB over on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And that's it for this week. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.